I know a little bit. I think it's fantastic. I'm a big fan. Paladin from way back.
I don't really know anything about, is it like World of Warcraft?
It's a board game, role-playing game. It's fantastic. It's awesome. You like set the story and there's a dungeon master. It's good fun.
That actually sounds really cool.
It's an
online game?
Yeah.
Oh no, it's not even online. Is it online now?
Yeah, it's online, and I think you can do like cards or something.
Yes. Board game and now online.
Yeah.
Stereotypical Dungeons and Dragons player, I guess, is pretty geeky, kind of a nerd. Yeah.
It's a Thursday night in Brisbane. A group of 3 males and 2 females have planned to meet in an apartment. The night could last up to 4 hours, but despite each of these QUT undergraduates being in their early 20s, the group doesn't plan to leave the apartment, nor will there be any alcohol or even music. Instead, the stakes will be much higher. Tonight, they will embark on a dangerous mission where they'll engage in armed combat, travel great distances in a foreign land, and unlock hidden treasures and secrets. This group of friends shares a love for Dungeons and Dragons, a game that requires no board or fancy electronic gadgets, just a team of people who share a love for storytelling and a willingness to lose themselves in their own imaginations.
Dungeons and Dragons is a collaborative storytelling role-playing game. So, it's a group of, 5 to 6 people sitting down around a table and, telling a story and having fun, essentially, with a set of rules to keep it structured. Basically, the Dungeon Master sort of sets the scene and allows the players to interact however they like, and then just sort of, dictates what happens as a result of. It's a good way to relax, it's, that traditional sort of escapism kind of thing, so similar to going to the movies or playing a video game, it's a shared experience.
Dungeons and Dragons dates back to 1974, where it derived from miniature war games. Whilst Dungeons and Dragons has typically attracted a niche following throughout its history, the game is slowly working its way into mainstream culture, with popular shows like The Big Bang Theory and the IT Crowd dedicating entire episodes to the game.
Until I started playing it, I thought it was reserved for virgins. I'm not going to lie.
That's smelly. Boys inside a lot.
Nerds.
Probably the more intellectual types, probably. Those who prefer maybe to be indoors rather than outdoors.
Oh, it's firmly rooted within that nerd culture sort of image, suspenders, pocket protectors, glasses and braces. Not the cool kids sort of thing.
So would you guys consider D&D to be a nerdy game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say we're all self-professed nerds, or at least some extent.
But
better to embrace than deny,
I
I
wouldn't
think.
say that nerdy is a bad thing though.
To an outsider, it may seem like an unusual way to spend a Thursday evening, and perhaps references to the game in popular television programs are merely spreading the idea that the game is only played by the socially awkward, that it's an isolated culture who prefer to live in the fantasy world of swords and epic battles. This comic book store in Annerly often hosts weekly Dungeons and Dragons nights.
There's a number of benefits. Like, first of all, it's the single person that walks in who hasn't got, say, a community of friends who play these games. It's a way for him to sort of like just walk in and play, the game he may have heard about. The other one is it also encourages people to get to know each other, better. In that, I know in the own groups I've played in, some of my best friends now, I didn't know before meeting them at some of these groups.
So, given the social benefits of the game, why do you think D&D is largely rejected by popular culture as kind of just a nerdy game?
Yeah, it's one of those things that when it came out in the 80s, it was, firmly with the comic books, video games, which are in the early stage as well. And they were all decidedly very nerdy activities and were considered hugely unpopular to do. And, slowly we're unpacking that little box of nerd things, and just throwing them out to the populace, like comic books, video games. They're all very much accepted now, or more so at least. And D&D, I think, is just at the bottom of the box, really. It's the lowest priority for things that are, going into the mainstream.
And while one could separate the popular fandoms from the nerdy, even misunderstood fandoms, they all have one thing in common. They bring people who share a common interest together and allow them to escape into a world that is very different from the reality.